my memory, and also it has some like sentimental stuff because my dad used to work 2 jobs and always brought us donuts home on Saturday. So it was kind of like, it reminds me of my dad a little bit. So there's Fred. He's holding a donut. In the original, he was holding a little mini rolling pin, but and then I took this off a screenshot of the video. So
these are all, you can probably see, very fine embroidery. Carol's using a non-embroidery thread. Is that correct? It's like
it's actually machine thread, so it's the kind that you sew with your sewing machine. So it's all hand done with the sewing machine thread. And so this one is called Happy Family, based from a Ramones song, We're a Happy Family. And originally it was just these guys and they were holding saran wrap. And so the donut has become the object instead of the saran wrap. So saran wrap back in the 50s and 60s was a new item.
So yeah, so just to clarify that, these are all old school vintage advertisements. And instead of the subject of the ad, they've been replaced with donuts instead. So what was this one advertising?
This was advertising reel-to-reel tapes, like music tapes. And I just inserted the donuts where she was holding the music tapes. And so this one is called Donut Specs, because she's wearing these cute little glasses. And there was a band in the 80s called X-Ray Specs. So they were kind of an influence on music for me. So we have combined 3 different things for my my art at referencing. So
right. She is. How close can you get in there on the threads?
I can get pretty darn close. Look at that. Let's get to the donuts. Oh, look at those donut guys. Do you want to see any close-ups of the other ones that we passed already?
Sure, we can go back, have a quick look at those. Yeah.
Let me go back to this one, because this one has, you can see their skin tones are different colors. And then there's like actually little details in the dresses and stuff and clothing. Let me go back to Fred, because he's our influence. So there's Fred. Fred has different colors of stuff in his shirt and his skin. And I couldn't put Dunkin Donuts on there because that's licensing, so I just had to put donuts. And here's the Boy Scouts. They're so cute. They have like a little Indian pattern in the background, because I thought that was appropriate for little Boy Scouts. And this is called Scouts Honor. And this was, they were actually holding, I believe it was like hamburgers or something, not a donut.
Donut's funny.
Yeah, I think so too. And then this one, let's get close up on the embroidery on this. So there we go. This is, see, the backgrounds are really layered too. So this one is, this was like a, like what they call a PSA for a drinking ad, that she's talking about her dad doesn't get her because she drinks or something like that. And then I just added the donuts into the background. Totally weird ad, very 80s, kind of ad. So I'm gonna walk, I hope nobody gets sick, but I'm gonna walk to the next wall, okay? So here we go, here's the bigger pieces. This one is called Happiness is a Warm Donut. And obviously, that's from a Beatles song, Happiness is a Warm Gun. But the original picture was these 2 girls riding a pony, and it was an ad for hair bands. So let me get close up so you can see the detail in the shirts and the background. So there we are. right. And all the frames are either were refuse frames. People have just tossed them, so I took them from work. So none of these are.
And it's all it's a museum glass in them, so it almost looks like there's no glass at all.
So this one is called Space Age Donut. The original had like a Poochie pattern in the background, which is kind of like a paisley. And then it had lipsticks flying around. So I just took the lipsticks out and put the donuts in. Let me get really close on her face. You can see all the different colors that are going on in there. I'm sorry if I'm shaking. I apologize. So next is Bowling for Donuts. So this is a combination of 2 ads and then some extra stuff I added to it.
It's got some nice reflective thread in that one as well.
Yeah, the turquoise thread is kind of it glows a little bit. And then some of the yellows glow a little bit on her. So the 2 ads are, the gentleman with the axe is a paper ad. It's for, I can't remember the paper company. But then the other part is a bowling ad. And then the other guys in the background are just added. So they're just kind of cheering on whatever's going on in the foreground. But let me close up on the pattern on her outfit. All hand sewn. And then the background has a nice pattern also, kind of a geometric thing. There's our guy. Look at that face. He's ominous. And then how about a donut? The donut looks like it's having fun, except that one. All right, next we have.
Did you go bowling when you were a child? Does that link?
I did. My dad was a pro bowler. You believe that? He used to have his own special bowling ball that was red and clear. And so he would take us bowling every weekend. And I got pretty good.
And the donuts have a special meaning with your father as well, right?
Yes. Yeah, my dad worked 2 jobs, so he would come home every Saturday and bring us donuts. And none of us knew that he was actually working 2 jobs. We just thought he liked to buy us donuts on Saturday. So this one was an ad for cute pineapple-shaped hats that you used for swimming. And I thought that the donut was more appropriate for that lady. So, and if you look at the backgrounds in her dress, there's a lot of textural stuff going on. And then an interesting story about skin tones. I ran out of threads during the pandemic, so I had to make up skin color. So some of them are weirder colored skin than others. Like she's kind of golden. I called her the Golden Goddess when I was working on her. But her name is Donuts Are a Girl's Best Friend, after Carol Channing, who passed away while I was making this one. So it's an homage to Miss Carol Channing. All right, and then we come over here to Aloha Donut. Look at those guys. So compared to the drawing, they're a little wonkier, but that's okay because I kind of like it that way.
Yeah, me too.
And this was for a pineapple ad, obviously. They were kind of on their Hawaiian trip from Dole. And then so originally they were holding like a platter of different Dole products, and I just interspersed the donuts floating through there. So let me get a close-up of his shirt so you can see all the different colors, and then his goofy little face. And we got some donuts, and then her pretty little happy smile, and then her dress. Lots of detail.
How many different colored threads have you used in most of these pieces?
I probably have, it's hard to tell with this one, but there's a lot of, like I about have a box full of thread that's about 100, 150 threads. So I was using pretty much all of them except for a couple.
Wow.
Yeah. So skin tones, there's like on her, there's brown, there's tan, there's gold, there's pink. There's probably some blue and green in her. Same with him. A little more pink on his face than hers, because I think the donuts are closer to his head. And then, and so then we go to, do you want me to go to like the plush, or do you want me to go to all the art first?
Oh, yeah, let's, yeah, this guy, I mean.
This is Alice. This is what started it all, Alice Donut. So Alice Donut is a band that I really loved in the 90s. And I got to meet all the guys and knew them. And so I always wanted to make them a plush. And then I decided to have, like, we build this off of the show. Him is the integral part of it. So there's Alice. And then we have above Alice, Malice. This is the back of Malice. This is the front of Malice. Malice Donut. So Malice has a glittery, you can't see it because it's in the shadow, but it's got a glittery tongue and is really also very goofy. Then we go over, we have more drawings or more illustrations with thread. This is Sing for Your Donut, based on either a show tune or the song that Mamas and Papas did. So you can choose which one you want to use. So, and there's.
And is the donut replacing anything in that one?
This one, no. She was this was a stewardess, and then I just added the donut to her little thing. So she's just a stewardess that decided she's going to start singing for her donut instead of being a stewardess. Okay, and then we go to, this is that your donut behind those Foster Grants? This was actually a Ray-Bans ad, but I think the Foster Grants reference is more in tune with the product idea that I was going for. So let me get a close-up of him. And tons of tonality. Look at that shirt. Look at that creepy donut.
And tell me a bit about Foster Grants. I'm not familiar with them.
Well, Foster Grants was a cheap sunglass company. And then like they would have people like Sophia Loren and all kinds of really famous people like riding around the street, and people would be like, is that you behind those Foster Grants? And then they would be like, why, yes, it's me, you know, and it would be like Sophia Loren or something like that. Or is that Sophia behind those Foster Grants? So it was kind of a weird thing that happened, like we would see on TV when we were kids. So it's just, you know, one of those things. All right, let me skip to the next drawing or illustration. So this is Bathing Beauties. Let me get a close-up on her. She's cute. This was just a weird Poochie printed ad. I don't remember what it was for, but I think it was probably either makeup or bathing suits. It was pretty straightforward, except that I added the donut instead of whatever she was hanging out in. But you can see the backgrounds are all different colors. Lots of detail. And then there you got the last illustration with the thread. And this is Donut Dreams. In this ad, he had a bunch of science toys, and he was leaning on all the science toys. So we changed the science to food, to donuts.
Mm-hmm. It's a donut experiment.
It is. It's definitely a donut experiment, so that you can see the detail. And then I have down here Christmas ornaments, more Christmas ornaments. Cute. These are all taken, unfortunately, folks, but I'm still going to show them to you.
Yeah, great.
Because they're super cute. I can make custom ones if you guys want me to make you some, just so you know. I got some at home. All right, I'm moving to the next. Oh, well, let me show you the floating donuts. I forgot to show you guys these. So this is on a set of a dozen donuts. They're double-faced. Let's see if I can get you flip-flop donut. Here's one way up there. They're hard to take pictures of. Here's this guy. They actually go with a stand or without a stand if you just want one. So there's that guy.
They have a different face on each side.
Yes. So I'm walking. Sorry, guys. Get seasick, sorry. So you have sketches here. These are the prelim sketches for the embroiders.
And do you do the transfer onto the material, or just use the sketch as a study for embroidering?
Well, what I'll do is I'll take and photocopy my sketch and then just trace the outline, not the detail. And then I'll start sewing from there. So I don't draw from the sketch, because I don't know if you notice they look different than the actual embroideries. So they do change, because I'm not doing them exact to the drawing. So this guy is his own lone donut drawing. This is I made the donuts. So this is the final sketch that I never finished the embroidery for. So he's by himself. Here's Aloha
That's
Donuts.
from the classic commercial where he keeps coming in after making the donuts, and then he's so busy doing it that he doubled himself.
Exactly. He runs into himself at the end. So here's Aloha Donuts. You can see the faces are different than on the original, on the embroidered piece. Here's the Boy Scouts. There's the schoolgirl. See, her face is different than the other one.
Yeah.
There's the stewardess. There's the real girl. There's the science buff. There's the bathing beauty. See, the faces are different because the sketches are a little more accurate to the photo that I chose, not necessarily to the actual the rendering with the thread. So there's the happy family, and there's that family. And so we have books. I didn't even remember to tell you guys they made books for the show.
Yeah, there's a catalog.
And then we have the Christmas ornaments, there's a variety of different ones. Each has their own little face. Some have more eyes than others.
These ones are donut themes. These are the donut ornaments.
Yeah, and then on the back, they have this fuzzy eye that glows in the dark. So just for fun. And then, so if anybody has any questions, I think that's the whole exhibit. So
yeah, that was a quick breeze through the exhibit. So Carol, if you'd like to take a seat, and then I'll put up some still images of them.
How long did it take you to do all that? How long?
So I started last year in I would say June, and I've been working on it until about August of this year. So it's about a year, a little bit over. So each piece probably takes 4 days if I just sit straight and do them straight. So I'm sorry, I don't have the thing faced to me. I don't know how to get back to that.
Oh, it's top left. There's a little camera thing.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, then let's have
Is
a
it
look.
going back to me? It's not going back to me.
Oh.
It's got you, and you.
There's a little look, if you tap on this screen. Yeah, there you go. You just had it. There you go.
Nothing's happening, man.
then it went back. Try that, whatever you just did.
It's not happening, man. Here, I'm gonna come to you, show you
Okay.
what my thing looks like.
Yeah.
Because it's got you and it's got your photos. So.
You have it.
I know.
There you go.
But it's not showing me.
Oh no, because I'm showing the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wait a sec. No,
Sorry.
you're right.
It's not showing me. It's showing you in picture
Yeah.
and your screenshot. So something's
Let's see
happening.
here.
Sorry, guys. Technical errors.
Okay. There you go. There's Carol.
Hi. So I'm gonna sit back down.
Yeah, and then we can go through just in the order we have them here.
Yeah.
Look at them still. Get in there with the details in them, and then just open the floor. People can make comments, say hello, mingle, talk to each other. Just unmute yourself if you'd like to chat with us. And then we'll just go through one by one.
Really fun.
Thanks, Jody.
Yeah. Hope everybody's hanging in there. Weird times.
They are.
Right.
So do you make your own dresses?
I don't. I was really a bad clothing constructor. I went to school for clothing construction and could never get it quite right. So I went from that to doing flat surface stuff mostly.
I don't blame you. I
Yeah.
failed sewing. I could never understand the mathematics with the dyslexia. It was like hopeless, and my teacher hated me. So 4th grade, very true.
That's where I had, because when I went to the clothing construction school, the teacher kept ripping out the seams that I would fail to do right. And so by the time she was done, the fabric was just in tatters. So I was done.
I can totally relate with you.
Yeah. So it's like flat surface, excellent. I can do that. Don't have to worry about putting things together. I've learned how to put things together now, but I don't make dresses. I just, yeah, I'd rather just do sew flat things.
I think this is better anyway.
Yeah.
Well, this shows how artistic you are, because, sewing is good, but like to do this is much more difficult. You created the concept and you're doing it, and it's like, it's not embroidery. So it shows your artistry to me.
Yeah. Well, this is what, it does. It's a folk art. It's a form. It seems like it's a form of folk art to me.
Yeah.
And I think that's wonderful.
Thank you.
It's finally, well, folk art's really come into its own, as so many art practices have. Everybody can do their own thing now, which you can do.
I totally.
Yeah, it's also a form of how can I put fabric art? I have a BA in a mixed media degree in studio art, and I remember one class I took, and we would make art out of rope, and then out of newspaper, and out of anything, and it was so open, and I loved it. And this is like very unique and very creative, the way you've taken the embroidery realm, but yet it's not embroidery, and created these they look like paintings, fabric paintings. So it's very artistic.
He's very much painting with thread
Painting with thread.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like thinking of it as like drawing with thread. That's always how I've thought of it, because you're like a colored pencil. You're rendering and layering and layering and layering with it. So that's kind of how I feel about it. So it's technically it is painting also. It's just with a very fine toothbrush.
So the threads there, you didn't paint over the threads. That's actually yellow thread and blue thread in the background, right?
Absolutely. They're all, each color is its own thread, and then there's layers of color, like say like there's several layers of different yellows to build the yellow to a certain tonality and stuff. So
Yeah, like you're painting with your threads.
exactly. So I have a big chunk of thread that's color coded, like I have them all in different color ray. So I can just grab a yellow and do like several different yellows.
For so several people that just joined, Carol was saying that she uses over 150 threads, different colored threads, to create the color mixes in these pieces.
Carol, do you ever do something and then decide to pull the threads and start again? With thread?
I actually have done that before. Yes, there was a couple of them that I didn't like the colors that were turning out, so I had to pull the threads out. So yeah, especially on the one that Om is showing right now. I had a different color background on that, and it looked terrible with her. It didn't make her stand out, so I had to pull all the thread colors out of the background. So
Andy and I saw the show in person earlier. It's fabulous. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. Is it Miss Nancy? All I see is a little tiny picture
It
of you.
is.
There's a little teeny tiny picture of Nancy. Hi, Nancy.
Good job.
Any other questions?
How big are most of these?
Most are, the actual image is 4x6 for 10 of them. 2 are 9x12, and 1 is 12x16, and then 1 is 7x9. So they're really very intimate, very small. The biggest is 12x16, and that would be the Bowling for Donuts one.
Carol, can you walk us through the process? Do you like have the color palettes before you, how do you do this?
No, I just kind of have in my mind what colors I want to use. So when I'll do the initial sketch, then I'll transfer it to fabric. I will, sometimes I paint on the fabric just so I have a general idea of the color that I want to use, but nothing like, you'll never see what I painted on the background. It's just very light color. And then I start going in with the threads. Like, so what I was doing was starting with like blue, and then everyone that had blue in it, I would do all the blue ones. And then I would skip to the next color, which was like, say, red. And then I would do all the reds throughout all of them. And so every one of these was done. That's why I can't give you a definite time on how long they take, because I was doing them in phases of color. So
So you did all the sketches first?
yes. Yes, so I did the sketches, and then I messed with the placement of the product or the donut within those. And then once I got it like the way I wanted it, then I would transfer it to the fabric, which I used a light box to transfer it. So like basic, easy transfer, with a pencil in a light box. So, and then I started stretching it. I stretched them on hoops, so they were all on round hoops, except for the 3 big ones. They were done on a bar. And then and then I would just start sewing. So, but everything is done with the colorway. Like, so say like all the turquoise was done at once, and all the red was done at once, and all the blue was done at once, and all the gold was done at once. So it just kept going from there until everybody was built up. And then there were some, like at one point some of them have different colors that none of the other ones have. So I would stop and work on those until they were finished. So say like the one that Om's showing you with the green shirt, that's the only one with the green shirt, or only one with that green color. So I would have to just use the green color until I got, done with it. So at some point, I had to stop and just work on one until it was done.
This one's based on the Ramones song.
Yes. Yeah, the We're a Happy Family, me, mom, and daddy.
Can I
So-
ask a couple of questions?
Absolutely.
Yeah, first of all, is there a very specific fabric that you use to sew on that you feel works, that you go through a trial and error period and find something? And the second question is there a tradition of this in older folk art that that you either were aware of or discovered subsequent?
So the fabric I'm using is muslin because it's pretty sturdy and it stretches pretty well. It's also easy to color if I have to color it, or and it's an off-white tone, so it gives you a basic base tone, so it's not bright white. I prefer the muslin to like the canvas that they use for embroidery and stuff. Plus, I'm not using traditional embroidery thread. I'm using sewing thread, so machine thread. So it has a different feel when you use that on the canvas that they use the embroidery stuff. And I'm not aware of any folk art that is similar to this. I know there's people that do folk art that do embroidery. Most of the time it's a lot looser, not as detailed as what I'm doing. So I'm not sure if that answers your question, but I'm not aware.
It does.
Yeah.
Completely. Do you have trouble finding all the colors you want and as far as your threads are concerned?
I did during the pandemic. All the flesh tones were really hard to find. So I had to order them from the East Coast, that they were still open in Ohio, the places that make the thread that I use, and have it sent here. But they would send it like three rolls at a time, which really was annoying. But as far as colors, I don't have a problem finding them because most of it's through Gutermann thread, which they have a beautiful array of colors from you can't even imagine how many colors they have. So I could have ordered them from Germany, but it would have taken even longer. But but the East Coast had them, so then nobody was closed over there for some reason, but here we were all closed up. So yeah.
So Carol, could you say something about how you got started using the threads instead of paint?
Well, I've been sewing for almost, I would say since 2003-ish, doing a different medium. I was doing like quilted stripes stuff, and then I would embroider into the pieces. So I've always been doing that for like since then, but before that I was a printmaker, so I had that layering thing going already. But since the thread, I started that probably about 7 years ago, and I just like the because a lot of people use the floss, which is that thicker thread. I just like the delicateness of the sewing thread. I don't know if that is helping with the question, but I started
for back in the day, you were doing more printmaking, and
exactly.
And you had to move to the fabric collage because of an injury from the printmaking.
Yeah, well, it wasn't injury; it was allergic reaction to the solvents. So I couldn't do the printing anymore, which I had to reinvent my art because of that. And then I really liked fabric because it was kind of that same feel of printing, and then I could just collage it all together and then put stuff on top of it, and and it was still that process of additive process, which is what printmaking is. And then I started actually sewing prints together at one point, and really liked doing that. And then I kind of stopped for a while with the sewing, and then picked it back up in around 2002. I took a class with the Clayton brothers at Art Center, and picked it back up during that time. So, and then I've just been perfecting this rendering for the last few years, here and there. So it's been about 5 or
Carol, I
Yeah.
wanted to say, Carol, that many of the indigenous cultures, you know, the American Indians and other Indian tribes with their weaving, which would be under the umbrella of, you know, fabric arts, they used reed to weave those baskets. And then the Africans with their beading. And I think traditionally women of all different cultures have done some type of, I call it thread art, fabric art, weaving art. And that's what it reminds me of many things, but it reminds me of like how, you know, when you see these imported blouses from like Peruvian, and they're all hand embroidered with these beautiful, actually look at that mask you have on. That's
right. This
that
is
looks,
from Oaxaca.
see,
So I
there you
totally
go.
understand.
It looks
Yeah.
Peruvian. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like an old fabric art or an old thread art, but it's still beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So it has that element to it as well.
Yeah. And I'm very fond of like Indian tapestries and like Hispanic cultural molas and these kind of masks and stuff. The masks, the fabric that they do with these patterns and stuff. So it makes sense. But for me to pick it up, it was just within the last 10 years. So it's not, it's fairly new to me doing the thread sewing renderings like this. So yeah, but I totally
Well,
get
it's a very unique, it's like to me, it reminds me of a thread thesis. You know, like you've created your own little contemporary thing with thread that perhaps no one else has, because you're not really, you know, embroidering. These are your drawings that you just filled in with thread rather than paint.
right.
So
And that's technically, you're right. That's how it works for me.
but they're very unique. So I think you did a great job.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad I came on. Thank you.
Thanks for showing up. I'm so excited that everybody got to come on and look.
My
Carol,
first,
I'm wondering about some of your art historical heroes. I see references maybe to the Fauves or the Expressionists. Who are your heroes? Who are you drawing from?
So German Expressionism. So you got that perfectly. I used to love Otto Dix and George Grosz when I was in college. I used to I love Odilon Redon for the surrealness.
One of my favorites, yeah.
And then who else? I love Van Gogh, but it doesn't really relate to this, but love Van Gogh, but the patterning maybe. Contemporaries, I was telling Om that there's a couple contemporary artists that I'm really fond of. One is Anna Torma, and you'll have to look her up. She does embroidery, but big, like massive pieces with floss, and she's from the Nordic area. And then Heinrich Drescher, who is a children's book illustrator. So, but historically, I love German Expressionism. Faux for the color, of course, and pop art, of course. Yeah, why would we love pop art? You know. So, any other questions? I can't think of any other references, but I'm sure I have a million of them.
Did you say Pettibon already?
I did not, but yeah, Raymond Pettibon, definitely. You can see that more in my sketches than my embroidery. And then
there's a big punk element in this show, and Pettibon did the Black Flag punk rock album covers too, so ties in nicely.
And then who else is a good one? Can't think of any others right now. I'm having a little freeze on the brain, on the thoughts. It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
Oh,
yeah.
you had said something about her earring. Am I remembering that right? In this piece, the space age toner.
Oh, you mean the tassel earrings?
Yeah.
They're I don't know. I don't think so. I was saying that the pattern in the background's a Poochie pattern, but I just abstracted it. And then she had lipsticks floating around instead of donuts, so I just changed it to donuts. But the earrings were something she was wearing, so I didn't change those because I thought they were kind of funky and kind of related to the image. Is there any other? Do you want to see any more close-ups, or do you want to see?
Yeah, let's maybe another walk around because
there's new people, right?
a few new people. Yeah.
Okay, so let me turn myself back around. Am I back the other direction?
1 second. I'm trying to get my screen to stop sharing here.
Yeah, we're back to the. Oh, no, there I am. Hi. So this is the schoolgirl one. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Police, but there is a song about it, "Don't Stand So Close to Me," schoolgirl song. It's kind of creepy. But let me get some closer so you guys can see the close-up of the skin tone. And you can see the difference between this and the drawing. So, all right, let me move to the next one. This is the Boy Scouts honor. You can see the tonality in the skin and the different yellows in the shirts. And in the foreground, there's multicolored thread that looks like just one solid when you get to it. And then here's some Native American style patterning in the background. And then here we go. This is Fred. Hi, Fred. Fred, and then we get close up on the colors in his shirt. There's several oranges and browns in that collar. It's color in his skin. Donut. There's Fred's name tag. Here's the happy family. Then we get close up on him. He's got some rosy cheeks. He probably has a little nip. And then there's Mom. And the donut. The mom's dress has some cute little patterns on it. His shirt has some stripes. All right, next we're gonna go to her. She's one of my favorites, along with the happy family. So get some close up on her. Hand and the donut. And she's got like a mermaid pattern on her dress. And pretty hair. Then we go to the next one. This is the part of the Dirty Dozen tower. I didn't show you guys this, but they all sit on this cute little tower. That I made out of a cone from work.
Maybe you could show us the floating ones above it, just so we can explain that.
So here's these guys sit on top of that cone. They're dual-sided. Hey, stop turning. And they're Ohm's got them flying in the space, so they're hard to photograph when they're flying. But they got wiggle eyes or googly eyes, depending on what company you work at. We're having this discussion because I work at Michael's, and they can't use the term googly eyes, so they have to use wiggle eyes. So I was like, I gotta go buy some wiggle eyes. And everybody's like, no, those are googly eyes. I'm like, no, they're wiggle eyes. It says wiggle eyes on the package. But here's our gals. These are the, I love their shirts. They're so pretty. I would wear one of those. Cute little headbands. Really funky background. And then here's our Space Age donut. She's got lots of tones in her face.
Is that based on a song, Space Age Donut?
No, it's just the motif, Space Age. You know, the era that it was done in. Space Age Donut. That should be a song though, right,
Yeah, that's
maybe
what
we
I
should
thought.
write
It
one.
sounded like one.
Maybe we should write one. So here's Bowling for Donuts. Let me back up so you can see the whole thing. Does anybody remember Bowling for Dollars? Bowling for Dollars. So Bowling for Dollars was a show when I was a kid that that my dad loved to watch, and what it was a competition of bowlers that would, whoever won like money. I don't know how much money or anything, but we always ended up watching it on the weekends. Bowling for Dollars. So this is Bowling for Donuts.
I can imagine you're having to kind of constantly explain these things to younger people.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it's my era, my age, so, and people that are older than me will get it too, but yeah. I think that some of them, they don't even care, they just like the way they look, so I think that's also good. It's and the title, they don't get it anyway, so it doesn't matter, they just like the way they look. Like we had a couple of young girls in here who just said that they thought they were fun, so that makes sense to me, they are fun. So this is Aloha Donuts. Aloha Donuts, we're back to you. Happy Donuts. And then we got that guy. See all the different colors in his face? He's got some purples and some greens. And then, let's see, and the plush. Alice, hi Alice. Alice is
Let's have
very
a look at the back of Alice. We didn't get to see that last.
Alice's back is not all that fancy. It does have a little bit of a butt rendering, but you can't see it. But you can't see it. So then this is Malice. Malice is floating. Malice is just a fun donut. But
They play pranks on each other, Malice and Alice.
They do. They loved, and we got more floating donuts. Look at this. There's 4 floating donuts. These go with the Dirty Dozen. So look at how many eyes this guy's got. He's got a few eyes. All right, then we go in over here. And I'm sorry if you guys, I'm moving too fast or whatever. I apologize. So this is Sing for Your Donut. Do some close-ups on her. Cute. She's got a little polka dotted dress on. And he's got little teeth.
Say, oh, you want to come look at this art?
Yeah, hang on.
Hi, Sheila.
Hi, nice to see you.
You too.
Hi, Sheila.
Hi. Oh, Nance, hi. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Hi, Sheila.
Hi, Gay. Oh, look at all my buddies. Nice to see you
Everybody's
all.
here. Yay. Hi, Sheila.
Hi. I have a friend over, so I have to wear my mask, so sorry about that.
That's okay. I'm wearing one too, so no problem. And so these are the Christmas ornaments from last year. I thought I'd bring them in, and of course they've all sold out. So I should make some more of these big guys. But
This is the Bergman Station at VG Gallery. It's a show.
Why do I know this thing?
You know Alma? Do you know Alma?
No, those. Who's the artist?
It's my gallery. I'm home.
That's Davey's visiting from up north. He's an big time art collector.
Okay, great.
He was collecting.
Nice to have you in.
He was a young kid.
I'm still a young kid.
His name is Dave Shaw.
G'day, Dave.
Sure, you show.
Oh, there you are. Here I am.
Good to see you.
hi, Dave. I'm gonna go to the sketches again, so you guys can see those. Okay. So here's the pouches.
I'm gonna go in here and go to the bathroom.
Just say something against Carol, so we're back on you.
No worries. I'm not hurt by any of that.
I love that. That's great.
So you can see the sketches are a little different. These were the prelim sketches. So this was like my initial sketch, and then once you get them transferred to fabric, they look a little different. So never a problem though. Always fun. And actually, I like some of the ones that got to the fabric. I like the way they turned out better than on the paper. And then some of the ones on the paper, I like. There's a couple that I like better, but not too many. But they are very different. So, do you want to see anything else, guys? Christmas ornaments? More Christmas ornaments. I have Christmas ornaments. Did I say that?
Can you, do you want to try shading the eye and making it glow? See if it glows.
I don't know how we would do that, Om.
Oh, okay. I could try turning the lights out, I guess.
Yeah, that would work, maybe. Let's see if it works.
Okay.
We're going to try and see if the lights, the eyeballs glow, because this eyeball's supposed to glow in the dark. There it is. Look at that, guys. It's glowing in the dark. So that would be on your tree if you had it. At night. You'd be like, what are those green things going on my tree?
You get enough of those and you don't have to
light your house?
Light your tree, yeah.
Is there anything else you guys want to see? Or I think I showed you guys everything, didn't I?
Yeah. Any questions from the new people that have joined about the works or ones you'd request us to go back and look at?
Wonky face. I'm just walking back through them.
Yeah, it's nice to see them again.
Do a little close-up action. Look at those guys. They're yelling at them. There's an axe. He's got an axe to grind. Look at that hand, not too bad. That's hard to do on thread.
Is it a meditative process when you're creating them? And you're thinking of things, so you're focused on the work itself? What happens as you're creating?
I'm really just focusing on like making sure, like, say, like on her face, that the patterning, you know, follows the planes of the skin, you know, like your facial planes. And I'm really just, you know, concentrated on how to render like the tonality in her hair. And I'm really just, it's really like intense concentration on everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm not thinking about anything else in my world except doing this. So it's really meditative, you know, but I am working on just exactly how to get that tone, the right tone for the skin tone.
That's the concentration-based meditation, an introspective-based meditation. So,
yeah, exactly. So it's more of a concentration-based, definitely. So, but it becomes meditative because you're just, at some point you're just filling in colors, but you're concentrating on how to get that to look three-dimensional, you know, with thread.
Can you have like your punk rock playing in the background or anything, or do you need no distraction?
No, I had music, and I also have, everybody's gonna laugh, I was watching the British Baking Challenge throughout all this, because I've watched them like 7 times in a row, so it was kind of like just white noise, but I knew it was happening, but there was something about the British Baking Challenge that was really working for me. Yeah.
Perfect compliment to the thing. Yeah.
but I really loved that show for some reason. So I was watching it while I was watching that and listening to music. But,
Wow.
but mostly concentrating on skin tones and getting like layers and textures. So does anybody have a favorite? You want to say what your favorite is? No? Okay. I told you my favorites.
It might be hard for people to remember the names.
Yeah,
I put a
but they
link
could
in
say
though
like,
in the chat.
they could say like Boy Scout or blonde-haired girl, or we could get it. I could go through the blonde-haired girls.
Susan Starr says she likes the one with the earrings, the pink one, the space age.
I chime in for that one. I vote for that one too. And I noticed that you guys chose it too, as I didn't really realize you chose it as the main piece for this email anyway. And I'm very, very taken with that. I think it's because of her expression and her lips, and those earrings, and it's kind of asymmetrical. And I've never seen any composition like that. And the donuts they could be flying saucers. I like it when the donuts work as different things. But those earrings are so fabulous, and the color is so great. And her lips, I just love. Look at those eyes. Oh my gosh.
She's so dreamy.
Very.
Well, we have now we have 2 votes for time to make the donuts.
Let me head over to him now. We're going over to Fred.
And then there's the one with 2 girls. There's 2 votes for that one as well.
Oh, okay, we'll get to them next. This is time to make the donuts. Look at Fred. He looks like he's missing some teeth though, but you know what that is? It's just a shadow.
Oh.
He's not missing his teeth. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Sugar from the donuts.
Yes. So here's the 2 girls. Oh, and they're cute.
That's very good too. That's very good. Look at those frocks and the pattern in their frock.
No kidding.
He has a flip. That flip
Let me get close up so you can see there's several different colors in those outfits. So.
Gosh. Boy, is that good.
Look at her.
So that's so great. Oh.
Someone has said they're the Patty Duke girls.
That's them.
Yeah.
It looks like them, doesn't it? Cousins, identical cousins. Yeah. Any others, guys? Would you like to see it one more time?
That's tough.
Do you want to see? I kind of like this one over here. This kind of reminds me of. Did you guys ever see Space 1999? It reminds me of the actor that's in that. I can't remember his name. Martin Landau. Does it look like Martin Landau? Kinda, a little bit. You'll probably have to research to see if it looks like him. But I kind of thought it looked like him.
I get a good dynamic duo vibe from this.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh,
Batman and Robin, yeah.
Yeah,
looks like
Batman. What happened to Batman? Because that's definitely Robin on the right.
Batman's gone for some. The Joker's been having fun with him.
Oh, true.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I kind of thought he looked like Martin Landau a little bit, but
Robin takes on a new freelance job. That's a new client of his.
All right. This is new super duo.
That's good.
What's the donut's magic power?
Distraction.
No, that's definitely distracting.
Oh, that's so good.
Here, sing for your donut, sing for your supper. But there she is. She's got a kind of weird hexagonal background. I don't know what that is. I was just having fun. Bathing Beauties. But yeah, so there we go. I like the crazy background in the back of this one for some reason. It's really manic.
I like all of your backgrounds. I think they're all
Thank you.
really supportive of, you know, what's going on and with the figures.
Thank you. I think that when you get further back, they just blend in, but that one's incredibly manic for some reason. I don't know what I was doing that day, but I was feeling it. All right. Do you want me to show anything else?
No, I have a seat. I can
Yeah,
show
let me go get in that really comfy chair right there. You guys, if you ever sit on this chair, it feels like there's a rock in the middle of it. Just so you know.
Sit on the other one.
Let me turn myself
You're
back
sitting on
around.
art.
Let me turn myself back around.
Carol, your work really grows on me. I really, I respond to it more every time I see it and look at it. It really does grow on me.
Oh, thank you. I think I really wanted to make something fun this time. Most of my stuff's super serious, but still kind of festive with color, but I just wanted to just let go and have some fun. So hope I did that.
Yeah,
definitely.
Do you also include people with different skin color?
I attempted to, but it always ended up the darkest I got was the golden tone like lady and the Hawaiian kids and so that I tried to do like the golden tone lady. I actually put a lot of brown and stuff in it, and it still turned out more like Caucasian than I wanted it to be because I did want her to be darker.
It's probably hard with threads.
Yeah, I think if I had
using vintage advertising as well, which
yeah. So let me show you the one the golden tones, so you know which one I'm talking about. I'm gonna flip back around for a minute, okay?
Sure, thanks.
Yeah. So it's this one. I wanted her to be darker, but she kept turning out lighter than I wanted her to be. But I really wanted her to be like Motormouth Mabel and Hairspray. You know how she's like dark with the blonde hair.
Yep.
So, and then these guys, I wanted them to be more Hawaiian tone or yellow, and she turned out pretty good. He didn't as much. But compared to say like this one, they're different tones. Like she's really pale. So, but I did attempt to try to do different tonalities, but it was really rough. And I was like I was telling you before, I was having trouble getting skin tone thread. It was just like it was all sold out everywhere. So
strange that it would be sold out.
I know, it's really weird. I don't know what people were doing with skin tone threads, but so hopefully they're not sewing body, what's his name? Bodysuits, human bodysuits.
So, Carol, how long does it take you to, I mean, this seems to be a question that I always get asked, but I understand. I mean, it is a curiosity. How long does it take to make one of these?
So I did the Fred the Baker one alone, like after I'd finished all the others. It took me 4 days straight from wake to sleep for 4 days. So I'm not sure how many hours that could have been. It could have been 16 hours a day. So you figure out that's 4 days. The whole series took over a year because I worked by color, while I was sewing them. I can't give you an exact time per piece.
Yeah.
But yeah, but if you figure Fred took 4 days, you figure the smaller ones probably took the same amount of time, and then the bigger ones took longer. But yeah, so. It's hard to say, really. But I know he took a certain amount of time because I did him by himself. So.
Well, it's such an interesting technique, and I could look at a drawing and figure out how long that's going to take, but not something like this.
Yeah, and to like when I found out I was having this show, I was really worried that I wouldn't make it to November. So I was really pushing myself to get them done. So I may have even worked harder than I normally would have worked on something. So yeah.
And how many are there altogether?
There is a baker's dozen plus one of the embroidery pieces.
So baker's dozen
is 13 plus one, which is 14, because the plus one is the Fred, the show title guy. So and then plus all the plush and Christmas ornaments. So.
It's a great show.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, we can open it up. It's I don't know. Tell a few donut stories on the way out. Do you have any other donut stories, Carol?
Not really. I can't think of any off the top of my head. There used to be a donut place by where I used to work that made small, medium, and large donuts, which I always thought was amazing. Because then you could just get like a little mini donut, or you could get one of those big, massive donuts. But that's the only other thing I could think of. But I think someone should be doing that again. They don't do it anymore at that store, because I went over there to see, and they don't do it anymore. Because I was gonna pick up some small, medium, large donuts.
Wow. Nancy's just said she burned her kitchen down when she was making donuts when she was a kid.
Wow.
She burned it down.
That's not good. I thought about making donuts and I was like, no. I know something will go wrong.
I had a friend visiting, and there's vegan donuts in LA. So he went to every single store in LA that sells vegan donuts.
I've never heard of a vegan donut. Are they good?
They're a little, they're less fluffy.
Oh, yeah.
I like them.
Oh, you do?
Jody says they're made with tofu.
Oh, are they?
That sounds hideous.
So what kind of oil are they putting them in?
Donut.
Donut. Yeah, it's supposed to be greasy and delicious.
Yes, and sugary and crispy and
exactly.
Everything decadent.
Exactly, and you should only have one at a time.
Yeah.
All right.
You can't have just one.
Oh, well, that's the truth. That is the truth.
What's your favorite donut?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I have two favorite. I like the cake with the sprinkle, delicious, and I also like an apple fritter.
Yum.
An apple fritter, delicious. Both are not good for me, but I like them both.
It's a beautiful show.
It is.
Thank you.
Yes, it's so original. It has such craftsmanship. Has so many things going for it. It's very special. Congratulations, Carol.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that you guys came and saw it.
Style. I like that freehand style because you see the quilts and everything's really set, and this is kind of very free flowing and Fauvist and expressionist. It's very nice.
Thank you so much.
Someone else has said they had a cream puff with lilac filling
Ooh.
What's that?
Um,
Never had that before.
Wow.
from Hawaii. Oh, it's Hawaiian.
Oh.
It's a guest from Hawaii. She's in Hawaii.
Oh,
Yeah.
we'll have to try that.
Yeah.
Sounds fancy.
What is Lilikoi, Susan? Well, I'll look that up.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah. Great. I think this is a sweet note to end it on. Unless anyone has any additional comments or questions, I'll post. Go to bgartgalleries.com if you're seeing this on YouTube or Instagram. Well, Instagram, you can just click from our profile link and take you there. And for the guys that are in here with us, I'll put the link in one more time to the show. And great to have everyone in. Cheers.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Congratulations, Carol.
Really interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. They're all beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank
Congratulations.
you, ladies. I appreciate it. I'm going to get out of this lumpy chair.